What was that?
Hello. Welcome back to the Divine Discussions with Carly and Madison, episode 12. Boom, boom, boom.
Up show.
Today, we are going to be talking all about setting a goal and going for that goal. So, I think let's dive straight on into it. We're not going to talk about the fact that Zoom just screamed at me.
That was weird.
That was weird. But Carly, so what is a recent goal that you went for and crushed, and how did you go about setting that goal?
Oh, there's so many things. Well, I think the biggest goal I had, and we've talked about this a couple episodes ago, and that's, I won't get into everything again, but like just getting to Indonesia, getting back to this country, my goal for like the whole time being back in Canada was to eventually get there. And it seemed next to impossible. But when I actually did manage to go, everything was so smooth because I planned and I was prepared and I was organized. And I've spent a lot of my life doing things a little bit messier. And it took me a little bit longer to get to things because I wasn't as prepared. And then I was more so like, I'm just not that kind of person. Like, I'm not too organized. It's just how I am. I'm very go with the flow. And that I look back, I'm like, what a way to keep like yourself from being successful quicker. You know what I mean?
Yes, totally.
Yeah. What about you? What about like, what are some big juicy goals that you've received or you've actually, gone for in your life? Like, do you remember anything specific? Well, recently. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, well, I just set a goal to reach my promotion that I just hit. Boom, boom, boom. So that was super exciting. And for me, like, I have always been somebody that has been overly organized. So it's funny because you and I kind of flip-flopped. Like, I used to be so gung-ho, so crazy, structured to the point where it was like too much. And so I had to let go of some shit and I had to go, okay, this is my goal. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to be consistent, obviously, and do all these things. But I'm also going to be soft on myself and I'm going to allow myself to do things that fill my cup up because I realized if I didn't do the things that fill my cup up, I was never going to reach my goal because I was going to burn myself out like I had done previously.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely that fine line, isn't there? But I just see so many people who get things done in such a way and they get it quickly or like they execute it. I've always admired those people who set a goal and they go for it. I think I can't live life without a goal. I think us humans need things to always look forward to. So I think when you don't have a goal, maybe that's even a form of even depression because it's like apathetic, right? When you don't, like, I'm good. I don't need to grow in any way.
You're kind of like floating around in the world lost, like where I'm not going anywhere. I'm just like trying to stay afloat. That was like me trying to swim, you know?
I know. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I'm always, I don't know about you, but I've always had something to look forward to. I've always been, I need to be here. I need to be here. Before, I found that when I had a goal and setting goals, I always kind of got lost in the goal itself. And I'm sure you can agree with this that like you have a goal and you're not quite happy until you reach it, you know, and that's a big thing I think a lot of people strive for is happiness in something that's not here yet instead of it being here on the way.
Yeah, that's so huge because you need to cherish every single moment. Like, because time isn't really like it's not really real. It's man-made, it's created. There's only really right now. We only have right now guaranteed. So set a goal, be excited for that goal and all those things. But if you are not happy right now and you're not enjoying every moment, what's the point?
Yeah, you get so lost in it. You get so lost in it. And then when you have it, and this is like a huge thing that I learned that if you don't actually enjoy the ride towards a goal and then you reach the goal, you're there, it so ends up being very like anticlimactic. Like you're there and then
Yes.
right? Yeah, you can't even sit in it for too long and relish and be happy. And I did it. It's like, okay, what's the next thing? You
Mhm. And
know?
I can relate to that so deeply because that's what I used to do. I
Yeah.
used to not even, because when I was all like saying how structured I was and all those things, I was so focused on the future and hitting that goal that I had set that I wasn't enjoying the small things. I wasn't enjoying the day to day. I was just go, 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 go. And when I did reach my goals, it was exactly that. It was like, okay, great. What's next? No happiness, really. It was like really unfulfilling.
Because it's not there. It's like we think it's there. We think the answer is there, but the whole point of life is just like you said, I love what you said when you're just going through the present day, because that's what everything all is. It's all the present kind of wrapped up. It's like the
Yeah.
present every single moment. And so by the time you actually reach it, if you're not actually, yeah, it's, I love what you just said, like the little things, the little moments, the little wins, and even the smallest things to pay attention to. I think that's been a huge factor in my life when it comes to even just living a better life, a better quality of life, and having bigger, crazier goals, right? Um, have you have you ever stopped yourself from getting somewhere or like a goal? Like, did you ever sabotage that? Did you ever like kind of psych yourself out ever? You
uh
know?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So many times, right? Like even on my way to the goal that I just reached, I self-sabotaged myself a few times, right? It's like these limiting beliefs kick in and they creep in, that mean girl in our head that says like, "Oh, you're not worthy of that," or "No, you can't do that. You're not good enough." And I feel like that kind of comes to haunt you in any time you're reaching a goal, but it's a matter of getting out of your own head and being like, I guess healing that to an extent, but I feel like there's always going to be that in a different level. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I
Like
think it
you
does.
can try to heal it as much as you want, but each level there's going to be a new demon.
Yeah. Another level, another devil. I just was talking to someone about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you like meet your like another goal that you have. You're still like, I think however you want to see it, like the universe meets you where you're at, if
Mhm.
that makes sense. Like you'll be ready for exactly what you're ready for. So if like the other version of you is over here and the big goal you have is over there, you need to be here. But
Mhm.
right now you're here and you're still learning, right? And you still will be maybe sabotaging yourself along the way because you don't know that you're there, that you're capable of being there yet. But that's where you need to be in order to have it, if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes
Right?
perfect sense. I was actually just talking to somebody about that today about manifestation. Like you
Yeah.
can't manifest, the goal that you're going for if your vibration is lower than what you're going for. It's just not going to work. You attract what you're a vibrational match to.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, do you want to explain a little bit about vibration, like what that actually means if someone's watching us and has no idea? Because some people don't.
Yeah, I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's the energy that you're putting out. So if you're in a good, beautiful, happy mood, you're vibrating so high and you're putting out these great things into the universe. But if you're feeling sorry for yourself or you're complaining all the time, all these things, you're vibrating really at a low frequency and you're not going to attract these beautiful, juicy, abundant things. You're going to be attracting more of that stuff to complain about, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's so important. And I know that we all kind of go through those phases, especially when we're going for a goal. We can kind of sometimes, when we start to let that mean girl kick in, we can start to kind of go, oh, why haven't I reached this yet? I should be there by now. And then we start kind of complaining instead of, looking and being like, wow, look how far I've come. I only have X amount of things I need to do to get to that goal. We start to get in our head about it. And then that's when our frequency starts to kind of, instead of we were getting like a lot of momentum because we're going and we're excited, then we start to kind of like coast and then kind of maybe go down sometimes because our vibration isn't continuously going up.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's so true. When you go like this, it's like, oh, I'm having such momentum, but now I'm overthinking it. Oh, wait, can I do it? Oh God, I suck. And then it goes in the spiral, and then everything is not as good as it was. And you blame everything else for it. You know, like the world is out to get you. Why aren't I having as much momentum as I was before? It's all because we are what we attract. Oh my God, that's so true. And I think too many of us give up before we're there, way before we're there. We give up on our dreams, we give up on the goal. Like whether it's losing weight, like someone, let's just say, who is like, and it's not easy, I'm sure. Like if someone who is even, let's just say, way bigger, like a 300-pound person, they have to lose this amount of weight in this amount of time, right? Or else they're actually sick.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to get past the limiting beliefs and the first hump as well, to like the first however much weight they have to lose. It's just an example. There's so many different categories for this, right? And it's so easy just to give up and just grab the burger. Like, fuck it. I can't get there. And that it's so sad to see in a lot of people with business and yeah, in any way, in any like form of their life, even eating healthier, right? It's like basically one time I literally looked over and I was like, what was I doing? I think I gave up one week. I forget what it was even for, but I just remember in my head, I was like, fuck it. I don't want to do this anymore. And it's so easy it's too easy to give up. It's too easy. I don't agree with it anymore. I'm like, no.
This is the thing. You have to have such a juicy why,
Yeah.
reason why you're doing what you're doing. Because if your reason why to do what you're doing is big enough, it's going to be way harder to give up.
Yeah.
Because if you look at your why and you think about it and you can still give up and not feel like shit, your why isn't big enough.
Yeah. A why that makes you cry, I've been
Yes.
told. Yeah. And my why, if I like, I have it written down. When I read it, I do genuinely have tears like in my eyes. And I'm like, this is exactly what I need to be reading every day. Because then you forget. Then you forget why you're even doing it. And then there's no point because it's too easy to go do this way because it's, convenient than working a little bit harder to become a better human. It's either way, I think it's going to be really hard. I said choose your hard, whether it's hard when you're going to be like super unhealthy, maybe sick in the hospital, or getting your butt to the gym every day. It takes mental strength. It's like pick which way you want. And I saw crossroads in many forms in my life. And I was like, what hard do I want to choose right now? And
Yes.
it's always been the one in the long run. I like, where do I want to be? I don't want to be in the same spot that I'm in next year, you
Yeah.
know?
And I think that comes into to play in like how comfortable are you being uncomfortable in that situation? If you're uncomfortable because of your finances, because of your weight, whatever it is, and you've become comfortable in that situation, you need to become more comfortable getting out of that and getting a different sort of uncomfortable, because it's going to be hard, but at the end of the day, like you just said, choose your hard, right? Like it's going to pay off in the long run, or you're going to sit there and you're still going to be uncomfortable. You're just going
Yeah.
to sit there and you're not going to make progress.
Yeah. I think like humans, and maybe this is just my input or like my perspective, but overall, the human race, people are lazy. People are so lazy. No, but everyone wants convenience. We want to be given everything. Everything is fine. It's all set up for us. Things are not really hard anymore, right? Let's be
Yeah.
real. In the Western world, anyways, come on. Like we're like, hello, like, right? It's so convenient. That's why I'm like, I think it's a good way to live, to want to challenge yourself, want to set good big goals, because you do stay stagnant. You can easily just sit on your butt all day and not do anything and be given everything you need from everything we have always flashing in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's so easy to give up,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's just it. Having a really big why, not giving up on yourself and not taking the opinions of others. That's a big one too. To just say, oh, you should just take it easy, just give up. Just like, some people are wanting to like see what's best for you, but never take their advice because they don't see what you see. Right? It's too easy for your mom just to be like, oh, sweetie, just relax. You don't need to work so hard. It's like, no, I have to be crazy right now in order to get my goal because this is what I need to do. Right? But we'll never have like our mom or someone be like, yeah, keep burning yourself out. But it's like, no, I have this goal. I really do want to, you know?
Yeah, well, it's like I made a post about this last week, and it's like the best piece of advice one of my mentors has ever given me um was to not take advice from somebody who's living a life that you don't want to live. And that stuck with me so hard when he told me that. Um and I never looked at things the same. When somebody would give me a piece of advice, I would, take it, thank them for it because they're mean well, but you have to really look at the whole picture. What is their life? They're giving me advice based off of their best knowledge. Well, if they aren't where I want to be, I should not be taking that advice if I want to go somewhere totally different.
Yeah. It's the best piece of advice I've ever gotten as well. Ever. Don't take advice from someone you don't really want to be, or they don't understand or like are not trying to get where you're trying to go.
Exactly.
Right. Surround yourself with people who are where you want to be. That's 100% it. If you see someone you want to go, I need you to like Google who is really successful in that said thing. What did they do? How can I take inspiration from that? How did they not give up? How did they not, give up so easily that most like 80-90% of the population give up?
Mm-hmm.
I work with so many girls and I know that you did too in network marketing. 80 to 80% of people will give up.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's just a lesson to see. And I'm like, whoa, I'm so glad I didn't give up years ago. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
But it's too easy to. It's too easy to.
Well, the thing is too, is like you're saying, like who are you surrounding yourself with? Because there's also that quote where it says you are the product of the top 5 people you spend the most time with. If those people are doing nothing, if they're not going towards their goals, or if they don't have those high goals that you have, if you are the smartest person in the room, or you are the person in the room that has the biggest goals, you need to find a different room.
Yeah. Oh, mic drop. It's true. Yeah. You should look around. And it's so hard though, because it's like when I hear that, when I heard that before, I was like, I like my friends. Like, so I don't want to let them go. But I had to let go of a lot of friends that just weren't where I was at anymore. And loving them and leaving them in the best way. I think it's the best route. You don't have to be a dick about it, right?
No, and it doesn't mean that you can never talk to them again. It's just a matter
Yeah.
of who are you spending the most time with? Are you going to spend all your time with them? No, maybe you go see them every once in a while and catch up over a coffee, but you don't need to spend all this time with people that don't have the same sort of ideas as you.
Yeah, that's true. Get in that crowd of people who literally like where you can look around and be like, these are my people. Even if it's online, even if it's people right now that you can hold on to because of the crazy world right now. There's so many options out there. And I just truly believe the ones who are the most successful out there who do get their goals, they have this like resilience about them. They get back up. They fail and fail and fail again. And they're not afraid of it because they know that on the other side of the failure, there's this growth and there's this new level and version of themselves. And that is what I've seen in the qualities in every person I look up to who really, really got where they wanted to go. It's always never been short from hard work, from hard ass work. And they deserve every bit of being over there because they just they had so much conviction in what they did. And I admire people like that so much because as I'm trying to be that person, I see how hard it is, how truly hard it is to keep going sometimes. And I'm like, no, if they can do that, so can I. Like, hands down. I'm there now, mindset wise. Not like I'm gonna just stay here, you know?
And that's the
Yeah.
place to be. Can I ask you something? So, when it comes to setting a big, juicy goal, When you set the goal, what's the first thing that you do?
Mm, okay, so I get clear first of all on the goal, like on the said goal. I I was taught this from one of my mentors. Oh, it helped me so much. Oh my God. It was like, figure out what your goal is. Um, what's the word when you go backwards? Oh, I
Right
always forget.
here.
Reverse engineer, thank you. And you reverse engineer. Yeah. So you figure out what you want and you backtrack on like exactly what you need to get there. And you treat it like a game. You treat it like a game, like literally like a Nintendo game. And I was told this by like one of my mentors because the more you treat it like it's a game and it's you're playing a board game, you know you have to get to the end. What is the obstacle that you have and what do you need? Get so crystal clear. If
Mhm.
you don't know what your goal is, you don't know how to get there, you're not clear on it, you're not going to reach it. Or it will take you like 10 years longer than you planned on it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I used to have a goal and just go like, yeah, I'll get there eventually. Your eyes are closed. You're like pretending like you know what you actually need to do. You think you know. I see a lot of people do that as well. They're
Yeah,
like, yeah, like
it's like the
set,
girl in Bird Box with the thing on her eyes, like,
yes,
where I'm going, but I'm going.
yeah, yeah. She makes it eventually, but hey, it's a lot harder when you don't have friggin' eyes to see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I do. Like treating things like it's like a specific game. And it's like it's so cool. So like my next promotion in business, it's just like, okay, what do I need to get there? How much time do I have? What do I have to do then every day in order to get there? Like really time block it out. Because the smaller little like things you focus on and consistent with it, you'll get there. You have to. Like there's no way around it because you're playing that game, right? You can't just stop in the middle of the game. Well, you can, but then you just give up, right?
Exactly. Like when you know exactly what you need to do and it's
Yeah.
all in front of you, it feels so much easier for one, because you know what you have to do. And for
Yes.
two, yeah, and for two, you're not gonna quit on yourself because you have your why and now you have it literally written out in front of you what you have to do. We just did this for my next goal together too. And it makes it so much clearer.
Yeah. And put it on like manifest it. Like I know you love like you're all about and you represent and I love that about you. Like what would you say to someone who had a goal as well with like I don't know, I say manifest it, but what would you do specifically like to manifest your goal?
Yeah, so I mean, everything you just said. And
Yeah.
then it's also, putting the energy around it of releasing it to the universe. So, you have to ask for what you want and really putting your energy into it in a sacred way and going, I'm going to do this, believing in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you can do it.
But what if you don't?
Then you need to work on that. You need to release some limiting beliefs, which most
Yeah.
of us have to do. Number
Yes.
one reason you're not reaching your goal, in my opinion, is because you have limiting beliefs around you being able to reach it for whatever reason.
Yeah. And like
So,
visualization, I think is pretty good.
visualization, vision boards, so good. Vision boards, even meditation, like meditating on it and picturing it, imagining it happening right in front of you every single day, and then releasing it to the universe and kind of like almost forgetting about it, but not really. Like, kind of being like, okay, that's going to happen. I believe it's going to happen and it will. And then kind of drop it, walk away, and do the work.
I like that. Yeah, it's like releasing it as in you're not like crazy like attached to it. Like it doesn't like it's not in like an unhealthy way. Like
Yeah,
you visualize it, it's mine, it's already there. And now I'm just gonna get to work. And if it happens, it happens. And it's gonna happen when it happens. And we're just gonna, yeah,
exactly.
right?
That's it. Like, if you're constantly going like, how am I going to make this happen? I got to make this happen. Da 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 da. You're actually pushing it away from you further, because you're creating this like barrier around you of like lack mentality instead of an abundance mentality. When you kind of go, okay, I know I'm going to do it. It's happening. I believe it. I know it. I see it because I visualized it, and now it's going to happen, but I have to do the physical work now. And just moving along that way, because like I said, like if you're constantly in the how is it going to happen and like stressing about it almost, you're
Yeah.
just you're back in that low vibration, right?
Yeah. 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 And I just read a quote actually the other day. It was like, if you're thinking about it, it's not getting you paid. Like it's not, you're not, or it was a funny quote. I forget what it was. It was like thinking about it is not making you money. If that's what you want, let's just say career wise. Like
Yeah.
if you just like people think a lot of the time manifestation or visualization and all that stuff is literally just what you think.
Yes.
It's just a piece of the puzzle, right?
I was just going to say that some people think manifestation is like, oh, I just sit here and I meditated all day long and then it's going to happen. No. Like you have to do the physical work. You have to
Yeah.
show up. If you're asking the universe for help, for signs, for all these things, well, you have to go out and find it because it's going to give you these signs and everything. But how are you going to receive them if you don't get your butt up and get outside?
Yeah, it's true. I think also there was something I read. It was like, you ask the universe, like, I really just want a birthday cake. I just want a cake. And then the universe gives you like all the ingredients for the cake, but you don't get it. You don't see it. It's there, but you got to put in the work to make the cake to
Yes.
have it. But
Yeah.
you're sitting there crying about it when it's been there in front of you this whole time, right? Opportunities on how to do it. That's kind of how life works, right? We think it's just the cake's going to be there, but it doesn't work that way. You have to put in the work to do it.
Yes.
Ah,
I
and
love
so,
that.
yeah,
Love that. I'm gonna keep that in my pocket for a story.
do it. Do it. Do it. Awesome. Cool. Well, I love this discussion. Is there anything else you want to add about goals, Madison?
What do you do when you reach a goal?
Ooh, I relish in it. Um, I think I like take myself out. Like, so recently my mom, she just hit like a promotion in our team. And, I with us working together and me learning all this stuff, like pretty recent, like this year has been pretty big with me with self-development. And I kept saying to my mom, because we were just talking about this goal every single day, and she was putting in the work
Yeah, she
when
was.
she right, and she was like, she wanted it and she made it happen with like, I'm talking like not blood sweat and tears, it's pretty aggressive, but pretty much like she did it. But she also had a very big goal, like visualization, or like she visualized it every day. We talked about it all the time. We got really excited, and when she reached it, we took a minute. um, I wanted her to feel like this is a big deal, and to not just say, okay, what's the next goal? I didn't just want to say that to her. We took her out for a beautiful dinner. We had facials, we had champagne, and it was just that thing where we just took a minute. You just take a minute and you appreciate it. And we looked at how far she came, and we looked at all of the other goals she had before that she already reached. And it's like, I think, a time of reflection as well. Take time to reflect on how far you come. And that's where I'm at now with like my next goal that I have. I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna really like, I'm gonna take myself out. That's what I'm gonna do. What
Yeah.
about you?
Um, I think the same thing. It's really important to, when you set a goal, to also set like what you're going to do for yourself. Because I never used to do this. This is something I've recently learned. And it's so important to do that because you're working so hard for it. And then you're going to reach it. And like we said earlier, like sometimes you can just feel like, okay, well, I did it. What now? You really have to appreciate it and acknowledge your hard work and celebrate it. So just taking that time and yeah, taking a step back, doing some self-care, celebrating with some champagne, right? You deserve it. You did it.
Yeah, what did you do when you reached your promotion? Did you do anything? Did you take time, or did you feel like now is the next one? Like, did you have that time frame?
Well, I was already kind of taking a little bit of a step back. I was like, things are moving, things are
Yeah.
happening. I went out to a cabin with my girlfriends, and all of our partners were there. And that's when I found out that I reached my promotion. I didn't even know. So yeah, like we celebrated, we had a little bit of toast and like a toast, like a cheers.
Everybody
It was like
toast, we
spinning
did toast.
toast. Eating toast isn't celebratory.
Weird.
Um and yeah, it was just beautiful. It was just beautiful. Like I got to just spend that time with the people that I love and really take a step back and just like sit in it and appreciate it. And then I came home and I just kind of spent the week just like allowing myself to have the time. And then I went, okay, let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm
Yeah,
ready. I'm ready.
yeah, same. Now I'm like, okay, what's next? Like that's it. Having that goal, having the life of wanting to go for more, and I think that's okay. I think that's very healthy in my opinion.
I think so too. You know, I can only sit in it for so long until I'm like, okay, bored, let's go.
Yeah, yeah. That pulled on me. I'm like, yeah, we're okay. Yeah, I celebrated. We're good. All right, I had the champagne,
Yeah.
and I congratulated myself. But it's cool because then you're like the next step of like growth. It's like it's an exciting place to be, and it's like, wow, if I've learned this much this far, I wonder where I'm gonna be when I'm there, and like really enjoying the process of learning everything every step of the way. I think it's super cool. Yeah, cool.
Awesome. Well, I think that was beautiful, and I think that is a great place to end it. So, thank you so much. I love spending time with you, and I love doing these. And every single time, I think it just gets better and better.
I think so too. Till next time, my darling.